Welcome to our presentation on this year's Global Game Jam. We are very happy to be part of the webinar session and contribute our research insights and ideas. We will start with a short introduction about modus ZAD and a few simple definitions of extremism, hate speech, and discrimination. And then we will talk a bit about the causes and drivers of radicalization. Then we take a closer look at the topic, and we then proceed to an overview of why this is related to games. And then take a closer look on the misuse of digital spaces. And last but not least, how games can be a part of the solution, and we'll try to provide you with a checklist for your work. So who's Modustat? We mostly do research and evaluation. We do analysis of digital radicalization processes, research and disengagement, and de-radicalization dynamics. We also do scientific support for prevention projects. Secondly, we do monitoring and trend analysis, and also do a lot of practice and networking projects. So let's start with a few little definitions so that we all know what we are talking about. First, extremism. Extremism can be explained as a mindset or behavior where individuals hold very radical or extreme opinions and are often violent or intolerant towards other opinions. Hate speech is language that promotes hate and violence. Discrimination is when people are treated unfairly because of their skin color, religion, origin, gender, or sexual orientation. Now let's talk a little bit about the causes and effects that are drivers for radicalization. So first of all, there are so-called push factors. They can be described as external circumstances. What can be external circumstances? For example, when people have a feeling of exclusion, this can be, for example, due to political, social, or economic reasons. Another external circumstance can be a perception of injustice. This is, for example, a perceived inequality, discriminations, or a feeling of powerlessness. Also, a powerlessness against social or political structures, for example. There's another force that we call pull factor. These are attracting forces. And in the context of radicalization, they refer to elements that make extremist ideologies or groups appealing. Such forces pull individuals towards radical groups. These, for example, include the desire for simple answers that people are searching for in a very complex world. Also, the desire for community and belonging, especially after long isolation or alienation. Also, social tension and conflicts make people want to search for simple solutions. So thirdly, we have personal factors. These personal factors are circumstances and experiences that influence the extent to which push and pull factors have an impact. It can, for example, be reinforced by moments of crisis. These can be, for example, family conflicts or trauma. Also, emotional vulnerability and mental stress, as well as a general openness to new worldviews, for example, due to personal changes. So the next interesting question is, why is this important in the context of games? So extremist actors are using online spaces. They use Instagram, TikTok already, but they also started using gaming and related platforms strategically. They incorporate gaming aesthetics and references into their propaganda. We will see later why and how they do it. So, like gaming language and elements, they are used to connect with people and to create a sense of shared identity. So, unfortunately, they really have realized that gaming and games are a very powerful tool. So, it also became, of course, an emerging field in research, but the analyses are just beginning. The thing is, the internet is a really, really huge space. It enables communication across time, and also extremists use it to exploit it, unfortunately. It is but very important to note that there's no causal link between gaming and extremism or violence. However, gaming culture is exploited by far-right extremists for their purposes. So millions of people play video games and they participate in games and in gaming-related platforms. Gaming-related platforms are, for example, Steam or Twitch or Discord. And in these spaces, people, they talk, they have conversations, they discuss political issues. And these areas have become also spaces where public opinions are formed. And this also happens online. So on the other side, of course, there people talk a lot online, and at the same time, there's also a lot of hate and extremist content that can be found online. Just to give you a few numbers, for example, on Discord, we have 140 million people online every month, 14 minutes daily. On Steam, there are 132 million people online every month. And it's more than an hour daily. And the numbers are growing because these numbers are from 2022 and it's growing, it's getting even more. Twitch, we have 160 million people worldwide using this platform and using it 30 minutes daily. And next to these numbers, just to give you an overview of some of the most popular games by monthly active users, we have Minecraft, Fortnite, and Roblox are on the top three games that are most popular as of March 2023. So we can see that there is a lot of talking going on online. And it's games that make it easier for people to connect. At the same time, we have research that shows that a lot of people have encountered extremist or hateful content already. The Anti-Defamation League, for example, identified over 1.8 million cases and over 1.5 million individuals and more than 70,000 groups displayed at least one symbol, text, or term considered extremist or hateful content. Half of them report attacks based on skin color, religion, gender, or sexual orientation. and 25% explicitly observed far-right content. 3 out of 4 minors report verbal attacks during gameplay. So extremists and haters use online spaces to spread hate and ideologies, creating toxic environments and attacking players. So unfortunately, they also have realized that gaming and games are a powerful tool. So this on this slide, you can see 5 ways how extremists use games and gaming content to spread their propaganda. I will show you on the next slides. I will give you brief examples on each topic. So let's have a closer look. First of all, the development of own video games. It's unclear how large their impact is, but there are some games that are developed by extremist actors and studios. They are often ideologically driven and they convey anti-democratic, racist, and nationalist messages. Enemies are, for example, fictional, but they often portrayed as a threat to the purity or order of society. There often is a fight staged to defend certain values or a supposedly threatened way of life. The goal is, of course, to lead young people towards extremist worldviews and turn them into active followers. Another way, and maybe easy way to show also skills regarding programming or also like that someone is into games and has some knowledge about certain games is modding and modifying existing games. We've seen earlier that, for example, Roblox and Minecraft are one of the games that are the top 3 list of the most popular games. And yeah, for example, it's easy to, for example, insert extremist symbols, propagandistic content, or radical narratives into them. As I said before, examples are recreation of anti-Semitic or racist crimes in Roblox or Minecraft. And we have seen that before, and they still exist nowadays. In-game chats are used to share extremist content and recruit others, and players use public or private chats to spread their racist, nationalist, and violent ideas. In games like, for example, Call of Duty or Fortnite, the chat functions are used to spread propaganda, while players present themselves as good or chosen groups and attack other players. Sometimes private groups are also formed where new members are recruited and encouraged to engage in extremist activities. The goal is to glorify these actions, and to find like-minded individuals. Another way games are exploited is the use of platforms like Discord, Twitch, and YouTube. On Discord, for example, we have the possibility to create private servers to share content and recruit and radicalize. When they do have private servers, so no one knows what's going on unless you're part of this group. And they are even very strict boundaries, so that's not easy for everyone to get into this group. YouTube or Twitch are used, for example, for streaming, to spread extremist messages and to influence viewers. In-game chats and comments are also used to spread ideas. This leads to a gradual normalization of the extremist narratives. Another way the gaming sphere or games and gaming are exploited is the use of game aesthetics and game elements. So we have visuals and design, for example, of games and popular games that are very reminiscent. So it's easy to use them and to create also a sense of familiarity and also help to make people feel this is something I know and I can relate to. Gamer language, for example, is used like terms like ranking, badges, or memes. And we have also popular games as references, which create familiarity, as I said before. You can also find this on all platforms, not just gaming platforms, but for example, also on YouTube. The reasons for using these elements are simple because they create a real world connection. It's easier to reach out to people in their familiar environment, especially nowadays that a lot of young people are really familiar with games. And as we have seen before, games like Roblox, Minecraft, or Fortnite are very popular. It's also kind of cool to identify with video games because it's very popular these days, almost like, or at least, or more popular than music videos and movies. It's also very appealing, and yeah, and the content appears entertaining and modern. The goal is, of course, to build trust and identification with the target audience. And there's also, again, a normalization because it seems in the first place harmless, but it's extremist content that is spread in a seemingly harmless context. Last but not least, we have gamification. This is like when points, challenges, or rewards are used to motivate followers. For example, there are groups that offer level systems and where members can earn points or rewards for specific actions or spreading content. It increases engagement and it turns followers into active ambassadors. But just as extremists misuse games for negative purposes, you can also use the power of games and gaming to fight against or challenge them by creating positive and inclusive experiences. Games can become a tool for promoting understanding and counteracting harmful ideologies. So we try to create a little checklist for you. We have 3 headlines, and I will just dive deeper into them, with the following slides, and I hope, yeah, they will help you a little bit during this jam. First of all, we have the diversity in game design. So you all have a lot of games probably that you love and like to play, and the list might be really long already. I just have put 2 games here that I personally like a lot. For example, the Spiritfarer. It's a game about death, and I think it's um, very beautifully made, and it's a very sensitive topic, and they really put it in a very great way and in a very playful but still very sensitive way. And yeah, we have a depiction of complex characters and Also, a reflection of realistic themes here. Also, in games like Life is Strange or Red Dead Redemption 2, we have a more multi-dimensional female and male anti-heroes. And also, there are a lot of games where we have more strong female protagonists, emotional depth, and also historical settings. So, a few things that are very important, I think, are that we have a representation of marginalized groups in characters and storylines, and also an accurate portrayal of different demographic groups. I think it's very important to talk also to other people, to just go and ask someone, hey, what have you experienced? How's your life? What experiences have you made? And what is your story? Can you or would you like to tell me more about it? And I think this can be very helpful to just try to talk to people, maybe also people you don't talk to every day. And it can also help addressing societal and political discourses and without resorting to cliches. I think games are a really great tool to do this in a playful way, but also, of course, thinking about being sensitive and being careful, of course, about certain topics. And still, if you think you're not, getting any further, there's always the possibility to involve external experts because there are a lot of great and intelligent people that have already broke their heads about certain topics so that you don't have to do it. And I think this game jam is a really great opportunity, to get in touch with others. I will have a slide also at the end of this presentation where you see a few initiatives that are already exist that you can reach out to. And of course, you can always reach out to us too. So I also think it's very critical addressing discrimination and presenting a clear rejection through your gameplay mechanics, plot elements, and visual representations. I think you all are going to be super creative about this during this jam, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your ideas and what you are going to create. Yeah, and it also helps, of course, when you try to avoid stereotypical design of characters, over sexualization, for example, and ensuring main protagonists are not just represented by idealized stereotypes. And still, in the end, you can always reflect and think like, what does my background story really convey? Does it demonize a group? And if so, how can I change it? And you can always go back to the step where you involve, for example, external experts or talk to people, maybe have some experience with this already. Then next we have the content moderation and the community management. As we have seen before, there are a lot of people online and there are a lot of people talking and also spreading bad stuff, hate, and also good stuff, hopefully, but also a lot of bad stuff. And yeah, there are ways to tackle these. Now today we have artificial intelligence that helps moderating chat conversations. We also have games where, for example, communication and cooperation is promoted, and also design decisions beforehand can help prevent these harmful activities For example, reducing the possibility of toxic behavior through game mechanics. For example, only allowing pre-made messages for communication. We have this, for example, Apex Legends. And then last but not least, there's a really cool initiative, Digital Thriving Playbook. It provides strategies and really cool examples to help game developers create inclusive and engaging in digital environments. So I will put a list of all the links um, with this video so that you can have a closer look at the initiatives that you think might could help you. So we have some measures that can be taken in community moderation. For example, making positive behavior visible. It's possible, for example, through implementing rewards and recognition systems for players and who follow the rules, and also through most valuable player systems that can be very helpful. Also, of course, events are always a fun thing to do where players are rewarded for positive interactions. We also have reactive measures, meaning taking direct actions against harmful behavior. For example, moderated chats and keyword search, and also encouraging users to report problematic content. And bans for problematic codes and symbols. And there are databases and tools for detecting these and removing these content. And also there are overuse of extremist symbols, for example, that you can share so you know which symbols are maybe dangerous and need to be banned. So last but not least, we have the collaboration with experts and prevention stakeholders. We have a lot of cool initiatives already, like Zero Harm and Comms. It's from Ubisoft and Riot Games. They are working on this project together to detect harmful content in game chats using artificial intelligence. They are a good example for using this. There are a lot of indie projects that promote diversity. You find them on the conventions like Gamescom and the international conventions worldwide. And we have initiatives that support and promote mental health in games, like Take This. And also, it's possible, as I said before, to consult with experts that are experts in extremism research, for example, and that can help you also with symbols and strategies. It's also possible to get training by professionals and to cooperate with civil society, academia, and also security authorities. And I think very interesting is the collaboration with prevention stakeholders. I think it can be a very great combination, like game developers and prevention people in prevention working together because they know a lot about young people and you know a lot about games. And I think this is a really great combination. And I think both of you can help make games feel safer and become more safe. And last but not least, you can always act as a connecting link. If you are a gamer, gaming influencer, or working in a gaming studio, it's great if you have the motivation and the time to help connecting prevention stakeholders with others in the gaming industry. Yeah, here you find just a few activists in the area, people that are already doing a lot of work in this field. We have in Germany Amadeo Antonio Stiftung, the Bundeszentrale für politische Bildung. We have the Anti-Defamation League, the Institute for Strategic Dialogue, the Extremism Gaming Research Network, and so many more. And Radigame, this is where Modus Zad is involved together with other researchers. We try to, and we are exploring gaming spaces and together with prevention stakeholders, trying to find ways to also bring prevention into gaming spaces and online spaces. And I'm very much looking forward. If you want to reach out, it would be great to hear from you. Also, your thoughts or ideas or questions. And yeah, last but not least, thank you so much. We hope you have a great time at the Game Jam. Enjoy and make the most of this creative experience and hopefully talk soon. Bye.